In today's video, I'll go through the most underpriced players in the Premier League, and this video will be in specific for you guys that want to play the new Premier League in-season tournament that has been going on for a little while now. And I've looked at the market and some of the prices are just ridiculous. Like, I just pray that you don't go out there and use all your money on those type of players, because keep in mind, the Premier League aren't so far away from actually being finished. But we can start off with a goalkeeper, Jose Sa, probably one of the most underpriced player in my opinion, but he isn't actually underpriced, he's just not that good, but his price of course reflects on that. And if you just want a keeper that may sometimes get you those 100s and also in some cases get clean sheets with Wolves, I think he has been very unlucky in recent games, especially against Tottenham. Like, Tottenham didn't shoot. They shoot a lot, but they don't shoot at Jose Sa, so he didn't get any save points. And also an error led to goal, which isn't error led to goal in my opinion, against Brentford. And if they can pick up some form, and what game is better to do that than against Sheffield United, which will be a matchup which will be very favorable for Jose Sa, and hopefully he can get the clean sheet there. And in terms of the price, just very fair for a starter goalkeeper. Yeah, that could for example be your goalkeeper for your second choice team. And also you can have a backup player like Bentley, his second choice partner, if Jose Sa gets injured or dropped, so you have a backup there. Moving on, we have Diogo Dalot, one of the most underpriced players on Sorare in my opinion, especially now when the new competition are launched. He have those high peaks that can get you very high up in the leaderboard, and I don't know why he's such cheap in terms of 12 euros and 200 or a little over 100 euros here. Very fair. He has some incredible scores. Just keep in mind that he is actually one of the players that I like the most against tough opponents. We can see here against Aston Villa, 91 pointer, against Tottenham, and 92 pointer. But he also performed against worse oppositions. But yeah, I really like Dalot. He's one of the best Manchester United players at the moment in my opinion, actually. But yeah, let's move on. And then we have Andy Robertson. And I think this price, especially in rare, are very fair in my opinion. $150 and 27 I mean in limited. And we have seen now he has finally picked up his form. No clean sheet in his last two games, but still extremely good scores. Trent Alexander-Arnold I think is injured now, so he takes a lot of set pieces. And also, just don't look at these two scores, because he came off from the bench, so of course the scores won't be looking that good. But keep in mind, those two games he actually started without clean sheets. He got very good AA games, which you love to see. And Luton at home this midweek actually, very interesting. Or like, just keep in mind, look at those fixtures. He have some very good fixtures here, and Nottingham Forest, Everton, and also Sheffield United. You will be able to have a lot of utility for him if you pick him up after the Luton game. But moving on, we have probably, in my opinion, the most underpriced player in on Sorare and in the Premier League in specific. That is Casemiro. I have no idea how he is that cheap. Here I think he got conceded penalties, yeah, but he has those very good AA games and he's very influential. It's just a matter of time before he gets back to these good old scores, or if you go to the all time, these type of scores. Yeah, Casemiro is a player, of course, he is getting a little bit old. 31 years old, he is like slightly after his prime, I would say, but still a very good player. A nailed starter, you can't find a more nailed starter. I watch Manchester United a lot, and I know he will play when he is fit, which is very nice. And of course, in the more tough games, he will still do well, and that is something I really like with him. And yeah, moving on, we have Neil Maupay. This is probably one of the cheapest and most underpriced forwards on this list. He has a decisive in him for sure, and also he's a little bit decisive dependent. But we have seen recently, with not Arsenal out of the way, but with a pretty tough fixture here against Liverpool, he has some tough fixtures, but after this, they have a very good run-up where I think Maupay will do very well. And Maupay performs against the best teams, we have seen that. And in terms of his price, very, very fair in my opinion. And this one is definitely a player you can have on your watch list. I wouldn't recommend you to buy him right before the Manchester City game, but he could be a very good player to just have in your second choice Premier League in-season team. And the next player is John McGinn. And now when I just look at his scores, now we can see recently they have fallen a little bit off, but we know how important he is for Aston Villa. And I think in the next couple of games where the fixtures get just insane, 4 out of the next 6 fixtures are incredible, I think he will pick up those type of scores right here, and also in terms of his price. And now I'm talking especially in rare. Like, I'm actually tempted to go out there and pick up John McGinn, because that doesn't make sense to me. Like, in terms of his limited price, stay far away from him. But it's a rare, incredible value. Like, it's an auction now, 12 hours left. I may go out there and make a bid and try to get him, because that price is way, way too fair in my opinion. And yeah, moving on, we have Reguilón, the left wing back for Brentford. Of course, you can't expect him to have a good game when they concede 4 and he gets a yellow card, but still, that isn't a bad score in terms of what I mentioned. He is attacking forward from, not attacking forward, but attacking left back, and he is on set pieces. He is very, very influential, and like, this gives me so much confidence in Reguilón. Against Manchester City, conceding 3 goals, he puts out a 49-pointer, which is very, very good. And we saw him at Manchester United. I thought he was very, very good and bright. So I think after these terrible run of fixtures, he will be a very, very good option. And that also reflects the very, very underpriced value of him because of these features. And also because we don't know how good he will perform, or if he will perform consistently. The next one is Pau Torres. Currently, it says here he's a substitute, but I think he is so important. And as we can see here, he didn't do too well against Fulham, but of course he has recently come back from an injury and he didn't keep a clean sheet. But like, if we scroll a little bit back to his scores right here, he is a good player. He's a starter. He's so important. He has a long contract. And in terms of his value, $4 and $35, like, you can't complain about that at all in my opinion. So this one is for me a very, very underpriced player in terms of like, it's so low that it's almost criminal in my opinion. I don't know why so many Aston Villa players are so undervalued. But yeah, let's move on. We have Nathan Ake. And now I need to just stop for a second, because look at these scores. And now you probably think he will probably be worth like $200-300, but no. He's worth $88 in rare. And now I talk about rare. Like, this is a bargain in rare, in my opinion. Like I'm very tempted to pick up this card right here. But in terms of limited, I don't feel like it's not a bad purchase if you go out there and get him. But just compare him to limited. Almost 3 times the price. Like, compared to how many cards that are actually minted in him when it comes to limited. And for me, that doesn't make sense at all. I think this is a very, very good option. One especially now when also you get that midweek utility with him against Copenhagen. That was an accident. And yeah, just a player that I really, really fancy. But yeah, let's move on to Kai Havertz. I'm not the biggest Kai Havertz fan, but looking at this price, I feel like for a midfielder playing at Arsenal, being nailed, and of course, like what it's called, the manager Arteta loves him. And yeah, now he actually got a goal against Burnley. And Arsenal are a team that can score so many goals. It's insane. And I think Kai Havertz will be very, very important for that. And like, I think he is a little bit underpriced, believe it or not. In terms of his scores, yeah, they doesn't look the best, but you have a nailed player in your team. Like, I don't know why, but Arteta loves him. And I think, so for example, he will probably get rested against Porto, and then you will have him for Newcastle, Sheffield United, Brentford, and also Chelsea, and those type of fixtures. And this one is to go a little bit differential. For example, when Arsenal win 5-0, for example, you go for Havertz instead of Declan Rice, for example. And if we can see, yeah, Declan Rice got a 43 pointer. So that is an example of you going different, and that could probably benefit you the most. And yeah, that's it. Bye bye. Take care. Peace.